Welcome back. We have been discussing the significance of World Book and Copyright Day, and it isn't just about celebrating literature, but it is about understanding how books can pave the way for a better tomorrow. With me in the studio is Dr. Adebowale Israel Adedeji, Head of School, Beautiful Beginnings Schools, Amuwo Odofin, Lagos. Thank you for staying with us. So, you made a reference to the story of Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson earlier. And, that is one of the stories that really resonates right now. Let me quickly summarize a part of it. It stood out for me when I read it years ago that he actually started out as a poor student, a poor performing student, until his illiterate mother realized that as she cleaned homes for rich and successful people, they spent a lot of time reading. And then she thought to herself, if my boys can also spend time reading, perhaps they will become rich and successful. And that played out so well, because she mandated the boys to go to the library, read 2 books every week, and give a book report. They had to read just anything. It didn't have to be the books about school. And one day when his teacher came to class with a piece of rock, he was the only one that was able to identify it, because he had read a book about rocks. Even he was surprised. Everyone was surprised that the supposedly dull student knew what no one else knew. And that marked a turning point in his life. He grew in confidence, and the applaud was so good he never wanted to be at the bottom of the class anymore. He continued to read to gain advantage over his peers, and look what he became. He was the first neurosurgeon that successfully carried out surgery to separate co-joint twins. He's a force in medicine today, and he didn't start that way. So readers are leaders. He also credits reading for helping him gain self-control and managing his temper. He continues to advocate for literacy among children and the positive impact of reading on children's life. However, in our part of the world, it doesn't seem that we place so much premium on reading. That saying that goes that if you want to hide a secret from an African, just put it in a book. Is this true today? And what can we do? Because reading is going to catapult, our children to as our future leaders. It's very important for them to embrace this culture. What do we do about it?
In this part of the world, talking about African continent generally, I would say one of the problems would be that we have limited access to books. At least talking about insufficient libraries and bookstores in Africa. That is very true.
That is very true. However, with technology, there's a lot of ebooks, there's a lot of materials online, a lot of resources that our young ones can key into. It seems that we just have a lazy attitude towards reading, or we just don't value it.
It's just that culture.
It's not part of...
You need to go back to that culture of reading.
Were we ever there? Yes.
Yes, we were once there.
Okay.
We were once there. But today, the world of today is just a different world.
Probably due to technology as well, because there's this growing concern about children wanting to spend more time with gadgets like their iPads as against reading.
Of course.
While technology has its place, I can tell you, even personally, I grew up loving to read books. As a little child, we didn't even have a TV to start with. So I grew up, and that habit stayed with me until I got married, and my husband loves to watch movies. I realized that when I started watching movies, I stopped reading. So a lot of children too, when they spend so much time, or visuals is quite appealing, as they spend so much time on the gadgets, they neglect reading. So how do we go about bringing back the culture, as you said?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Balancing screen time and reading strategies will really go a long way. I will say, number one, we need to set limits. Yes, we need to establish screen time limits and encourage reading among our children. Let them know. If you want to glue with your screen, you can do that between 12 o'clock and probably like on a Saturday, between 12 and 1.
Yes.
Between 12 noon and 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Then after that, from 2 to 4 o'clock, go to your books. And again, apart from that, we can also ensure that we have reading